Many would argue 1967 was the biggest year of the 20th century for popular music, and they'd have a strong point to make. 67 saw the release of handfuls of songs and albums that still firmly hold legendary status today, over half a century later. And surely not to be overlooked from that rare fountain of great art is a major highlight introduced around the end of that year, a late November release called Days of Future Past by the Moody Blues. Considered to be one of the first concept albums, from beginning to end, the record aimed to detail a day in the life of the average 1960s man. However, its lead single was released several weeks before the album was available. That song was Nights in White Satin, a 3-minute 6-second version of what would be the album's closer, there lasting over 5.5 minutes, featuring a spoken word poem section and simply going by the title The Night. Though later Moody Blues editions would rightfully separate the two pieces from each other in the track listings. And while the original album did decent sales, it is the release of Nights in White Satin that etched the Moody Blues name in the annals of music history, hitting number 19 on the UK singles chart in '67, and then an astonishing number 2 position on the Billboard Hot 100 through a re-release in 1972. It is a mesmerizing, emotionally epic piece written by guitarist and vocalist Justin Hayward, who, at a mere 19 years old, had just joined the Moody Blues along with John Lodge at the time, the two of them replacing original members Denny Lane and Clint Warwick, who had recently decided to leave. And while the motif of the track fits the concept and timeline of Days of Future Past, it's actually a very personal, standalone song in its own right. Justin had written it as an expression of his emotions over a recent breakup and the beginnings of a new relationship that had begun in its wake. "I came back from a gig one night and I sat on the side of the bed," he'd recall years later, "and wrote that song in the middle of the night." The title and concept itself was inspired by the bedsheets he was wrapped in while writing it. "At the time when I wrote Nights in White Satin," he'd explain, "I didn't own many things in the world, but I did own something totally useless, which was a set of white satin sheets that this girlfriend of mine had given me. They looked quite nice, and they were quite romantic. It was really about that, about love and the end of one big affair and the beginning of another. It was about real things that were happening in my life. I suppose I always thought that I would call it Nights in White Satin. It sort of had that double meaning, which was intentional, of sort of medieval nights as well." While the music has a haunting, powerful ring that quite suits both halves of that double entendre, the lyrics beautifully depict only the former. "Nights in white satin," they begin, "never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send." As it happens, this line really does depict a form of therapy Justin practices during times of stress. "I do write letters never meaning to send," he'd once explain. "I find it a cathartic thing. If I have an issue with somebody or about something, I find it easier to write it down and get it out rather than turning it over in my mind." Now, this quote, though it may be easy to miss, reveals the true meaning of the song. Based on what he said, it's about an issue with someone. Keeping in mind that he also told us it was written during a period in his life when he'd just ended a relationship and entered into a new one, we get our answer. The issue he was fretting over, the someone and something, as he put it, was the girl he'd just lost. This song is for her. It is a lament. With that key obtained, the meaning of the next lines, and the rest of the song for that matter, unlock before our eyes. "Beauty I'd always missed with these eyes before," he opines, admitting he'd never seen his lost love in the light he was now seeing her in. "Just what the truth is," he continues, "I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you." So there you have it. The truth he can't say is that he loves her, and he can't say it because it's too late to tell her now. They've moved on. The relationship is over and new ones have taken shape. Saying it now would not only have likely little to no effect on her, it would ruin their current situations. That time had passed. He's lamenting that he missed his opportunity to tell her how he feels when it would have mattered. But how could he have? He didn't realize it then. But he does now. It's a true case of you don't know what you've got till it's gone. "Yes, I love you," he continues with conviction. "Oh, how I love you." But unfortunately, that realization has come to him too late. Gazing at people, the second verse begins, some hand in hand. Just what I'm going through, they can't understand. And from his point of view, how could they understand his situation? They're with the people they love, while his has slipped through his fingers. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend, he continues, hinting at words of encouragement some of these lovebirds are raining on him. Just what you want to be, you will be in the end. This, it seems, is the example of the thoughts he believes they cannot defend. In other words, they're telling him it may be hard for him now, but it will all work out in the end. Our narrator, however, sees these sentiments as mere platitudes, lip services, empty reassurances. Why? "'Cause I love you," he once again declares to his lost love. "Yes, I love you," he repeats. "Oh, how I love you." That's all to say, he won't be where he wants to be in the end because he's in love with the girl that got away. He wants that which he can no longer have. And that, in a nutshell, is the premise of the entire song. It's a love song to the one that got away, making it a tragic love song, a blues song, a Moody Blues song. How fitting. But, not to worry, Justin would get over this down point in his life as time persisted, and truly came to believe that what those people said to him was true. "I do think that what you want you will be in the end," he'd submit decades after the song's release. "I've realized this later. This was a 19-year-old boy writing these lyrics, so it comes from that dimension." Be that as it may, that 19-year-old boy struck a chord in people of all ages and across generations with this timeless expression of art that he came up with while laying in his bed, confused and heartbroken. Case in point, here we are still talking about it with admiration 60 years later. And despite Justin seeing it as the expression of a naive boy, he perfectly recognizes its universality all these years later, once saying, "It was a very personal song, and every note, every word in it means something to me, and I found that a lot of other people have felt that very same way about it. It's a song that never seems to go away," he'd aptly recognize at another time. "It seemed to get into people's minds and just stay there. The whole thing's very strange and wonderful." And the power of it, like many timeless love songs, seems to come from a combination of raw emotion coupled with ambiguity. Like so many examples of songs that, once heard, live forever in the souls of their listeners, a specific story isn't told, just a description of the emotions the songwriter felt from the situation that inspired them to write their masterpiece. By writing this way, whether that comes about without intention or a fear of embarrassment of their muse being able to identify themselves as the inspiration for the emotions, it gives the rest of us a chance to identify with the emotions and insert our own personal stories into the mix, not only making these songs ours in the process, but healing us a little more every time we listen to them, letting us know that we're not alone in how we feel. At only 19, just after joining a band he thought he had no future in, Justin Hayward gave us that gift with Nights in White Satin, and so long as we have it available to us to hear at the press of a button, it's a gift that will keep on giving. But of course, that's just one person's feelings on the matter, and I'd love to know what you think of Nights in White Satin, and what it means to you in the comments section below. And also, please don't hesitate to help me out with a like and a share. It only takes a second, and doing either goes a long, long way. And if you haven't, hit that subscribe button for more content like this in the future. And last but not least, Lyristoric merch is available to one and all, and can be easily found under every Lyristoric video or directly on the Lyristoric channel page. There you'll find professionally designed music and lyric-oriented premium tees, hoodies, slides, pendants, mugs, and a lot more, all designed by cardanapparel.com at great prices. Share your love of music and lyrics with the world and look fantastic all at once in these stylish wares. Not only will you look and feel incredible, but every purchase goes towards helping this channel continue. And it's not just Lyristoric wear either. Click the link in the description or simply go to cardanapparel.com to shop Cardan's impeccable and vast designer selection, such as the much sought-after, exclusive, and esoteric 1111 line, and give your wardrobe a serious boost. Every purchase at cardanapparel.com supports Lyristoric's continuance, and Most importantly, you end up looking amazing as a result. It's a win-win. So why wait? Go to the Lyristoric shop or cardanapparel.com now with the links in the description and take the first step towards looking and feeling phenomenal. I'll see you in the next video.